excited right now. I was actually expecting to see the turbines. Right now I'm driving through western Kansas, and while I was in Oklahoma City with Karen, the first night I was there, we went to a Zac Brown band concert and met these guys from Kansas State. And so when I was telling them that I was going to Salina and then over to Denver, they were like, oh, look for the windmills. And then they were joking about how it's a really boring drive and there's all of 10 trees, which so far there's quite a few more, but supposedly right now it's rolling hills and it's just supposed to like flatten out into nothingness for a while. So that's fun. But yeah, right now we're in, I guess, in the rolling hills of Kansas, and it's quite windy. My car is swerving involuntarily. It's kind of freaky. Oh my god, and there's so much more. This is crazy. Wow. Okay. Anyways, let's see, what do I need to tell you about? Oklahoma City was great. I was there for 3 nights and about 2.5 days, I guess, in total. It was wonderful because obviously I stayed with my friend Karen. I already knew her. That takes a little pressure off. We also didn't have a very packed schedule. She was pretty free and looking to relax as well, since she's been quite hectic with med school. And, you know, after 2 weeks of just non-stop, I slept in for the first time, which is wonderful. And she doesn't really know Oklahoma City that well. She grew up in Tulsa, which is east in Oklahoma, and actually isn't that big of a fan so far of OKC. But, I mean, it was nice for a weekend, and I hope she likes it more as she gets to know it better. But as I said, we went to a concert on Thursday night, which was incredibly fun. Zac Brown Band is like, they do country music. And from listening to country music stations while I was driving all throughout the South and then into Texas, I was actually familiar with quite a lot of his songs. I was very proud of myself because I'm usually not good for that. And we met those guys from Kansas State that were really nice and funny to talk to. And then the next day we slept in, or I slept in really late. And we went out for like a brunch that was more like a lunch, but whatever. We went to a Guatemalan restaurant. We did some touristy things. Then we actually ended up having dinner at home. We had leftovers from the night before. She had gotten pizza. We made a small salad. Then we went out for drinks and went to quite a few bars, actually. Not that we drank so much, but she was exploring too, so we were just looking at a couple of different environments. We went along the Oklahoma City River Walk, which is pretty, and Bricktown, which is just their like downtown bar and restaurant area. And yeah, so we didn't mingle as much as I guess we would have liked, but you know, that's fine. We don't need that, or we don't need that at least. And you should either, hopefully. You can have a good time without random boys. And then the next day we again had brunch, this time at a French restaurant, and we did touristy things. I saw her medical school, and then we went to this like sports bar on a lake, and it was really pretty, like a great environment. We just got a beer and we were watching the OU Air Force game, which ended up being a really, really good game. It was close, which it shouldn't have been, but that made it exciting. And I actually am not the biggest football fan, but I totally love being a part of a group that's cheering for something. So I was all over it. And then we ended up making friends there. This old guy came up to us and was like, you do know it's National Senior Citizen Day. And Karen was like, oh really? And he's like, yeah, so you really should offer me a seat. And so then she's like, oh, would you like to sit right there? And he's like, oh, I thought you'd never asked, thank you. And he's just this funny old man, I don't know, that was friends with these two younger guys. And then, oh, that was entertaining. yeah, this is like one afternoon, which is always just kind of fun. And we just said, you know, like, bye and thank you for the drink. And an older man, probably like his dad or something, was sitting next to him. He's like, he's still buying. And then we walked around outside. There's like a nice path along the lake, and we took a few pictures, which at this point, I guess you've seen. And then we went out to dinner. Yeah, we went for Thai food. It was phenomenal. And then we went home and we were watching a movie and whatever. And then at like 10, we were like, you know what, let's go for dessert. Because we had a really early dinner. And so we went to a nearly raw vegan restaurant that was delicious. And my strawberry rhubarb crisp was out of this world. And overheard a very ridiculous conversation about Northerners and Northeasterners and why particular people just would never want to go there because everyone there is just stupid. And I don't know, it was kind of insane because Carrie and I are talking about it, and you know, her coming all the way from Oklahoma to go to SU was kind of a big deal. Like when she told me she's from Oklahoma, they were like, oh, really? That sucks, or like things like that. It was just not nice. Even if she hated Oklahoma, like New Yorkers who have never been into the Midwest, what is that? Why is that necessary? And you know, like, what do you have to base that opinion off of? That's kind of why I'm doing this whole road trip. Yet another reason, because I don't want to have to fall back into believing the United States is made up of these stereotypes of people, and that it just sucks to live anywhere else, and that there's nothing to do like, I don't know, that's just stupid. Like I said before, I think there's value to traveling and seeing new places, and even visiting places that you know you couldn't live in. Like, there's a reason there are people living there. There are pros and cons to everywhere you go, big or small, you know, no matter north, south, west, east, whatever. I mean, that extends to obviously outside the country. And it's one thing to, you know, like really love home and have no desire to be anywhere else, but it's another to never have left home and then outwardly badmouth everywhere else and the people from there. We actually changed our table. But yeah, besides that, and actually it didn't bring me down too much. I'm unfortunately aware that there are many people like that everywhere. So then we just went home, we went to bed. The next morning, we met her parents for brunch, and her parents are so sweet. That was great. I love her parents. Like I was saying, I've met them a couple of times before, quite a few times, because I visited her, and then they've come to school to help her move in. And you know, her and I, you may not know, her and I lived together sophomore year. So, yes. And then I packed up the car and left, and I was really okay when I was leaving, because driving away, I'm not as dramatic. I don't know if you know this, but I'm ridiculously sentimental and emotional when it comes to goodbyes and such. So it was pretty impressive that I was just like kind of fine, like see you later, even though we don't really know exactly when we will see each other again, which is really sad. That was the great thing about going to college. You always reunited with these people. And then, like, she had to run to the store, so when she got back, she texted me, and she's like, there's not a car with a New York license plate anymore, like, that's no fun, or, like, I'm really gonna miss you. We should start a petition to make Oklahoma and New York closer to each other, or just something. Oh, I don't know, there's also an inside joke thrown in there, but I'll spare you. But then I, like, teared up a little bit, because I'm ridiculous. And I am going to miss her a lot. She's one of my best friends ever. And I'm just happy that we had the chance to meet, because I otherwise probably would never cross paths with Karen as I learned from staying with my couch surfing hosts, it was completely formed out of industrial work. So there are quite a few factories there, particularly for frozen pizzas, are made and packaged in Salina, Kansas, and I was there, so be jealous. But yeah, we sat talking, and then we went out to dinner, and then I just went to bed. And this morning I left early, and they were so sweet. It was this woman and her boyfriend, I think, an older couple.